Starting today, interest will start accruing once again for people with federal student loans. And in a month, borrowers will have to start making payments again. Rates and payments were put on freeze for millions of people back in March of 2020 when the pandemic hit. Now, as we count down the clock, many people are concerned about whether they can afford to start repaying their student loans again on October 1st. So joining us live now is senior economist and student loan repayment expert with LendingTree, Jacob Channel. Thank you for coming on Midday, Jacob.
Thanks for having me.
Well, first and foremost, the 0% interest rate has ended. So how does somebody find out what their interest rate is going to be now?
So the easiest way to do it is just log back into your student loan servicer account. Not only will that tell you what your interest rate is, it'll also tell you what your expected monthly payment will be and how much you owe. And all of that information, you might be thinking, well, isn't that obvious? Don't I already know that? Well, as you pointed out earlier, a lot of people haven't been making any payments, probably haven't been logging on since March 2020 when the pause was first enacted. So I think now is a really good time to just log back into your account, refamiliarize yourself with where you stand.
Right, and see what the deal is. Some people, though, might be getting a really nice surprise when they log in because they might be eligible for forgiveness. What are the requirements for those looking to clear their loans, people who don't have to pay anything back at all?
Sure. So while broad student loan forgiveness is off the table for the time being, there are still some programs out there that can help people get forgiveness. It really varies, though, depending on, circumstances, individual circumstances, what your income is, things like your disability status. So that's another thing that you can check, if you log in your student loan servicer, if you just reach out to them or to studentaid.gov, the Department of Education, and say, hey, where might I stand with student loan forgiveness? They can provide you with some more specific answers. On top of that, they can also point you in the direction of things like income-driven repayment plans. So even if you don't qualify for outright forgiveness, you might still be able to get on an income-driven repayment plan and reduce your monthly payment, which for a lot of people, I'm imagining will be super helpful as payments resume sooner rather than later.
So what's your best advice for somebody who hasn't logged in a while? They might not even know their password. They've just got to figure out if they have to make a payment on October 1st, right? So they don't miss their payment.
So I think my best advice would be literally right now, as you're listening to me talk, figure out your password, log in, and figure out where you stand. The sooner you know where exactly everything in the world of your student loans is, the easier it will be for you to plan for payments resuming. The one thing that you absolutely should not do is bury your head in the sand and hope and pray that this all just magically goes away, because it probably won't. And in a worst case scenario, if you just completely neglect your student loans, the government can do really fun things like garnish your wages. So my advice is just figure out where you stand right now and ask for help if you think you need it. Do not wait.
All right, that was senior economist and student loan repayment expert with LendingTree, Jacob Channel. Thank you for joining us this morning, Jacob.
Thanks.